Birthing Centers with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, one website, SummitCitySports.com. Live stream high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne area athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championships. Welcome in everybody to the University of St. Francis Hutzel Athletic Center for today's Crossroads League matchup. The number 2 Cougars face the Foresters in neighborhood rival revival in first home game for 2018. Back at home for the first time in 2018 and the first time since December 2nd, 2017. Crossroads League leading University of St. Francis tangles with Huntington University tonight. Since winning the last home game against Goshen 93-85, USF has added 7 wins on the road and put a 15-game win streak on the line, as well as a 6-0 Crossroads League record. The Foresters have dropped 6 consecutive games, and at 2-4 are 4 games back of USF in the Crossroads League standings. Huntington has dropped their last 2 Crossroads League contests, 82-69 at home against Taylor on January the 3rd, and 78-65 at Spring Arbor on January the 6th. 16th ranked Spring Arbor used an 11-2 run late in the first half to take control against Huntington on Saturday. Huntington cut a 10-point deficit to 6 early in the second half before Spring Arbor raced out to a 21-point lead. For St. Francis, Chandler White only missed one field goal attempt out of 12 and scored 24 points in USF's win at Mount Vernon Nazarene on Saturday. White scored 14 points in the second half. In Crossroads League only play, Derek Heinen leads St. Francis with a 21.8 average, that's points per game, and he is number 3 in the Crossroads League. White is tied for number 7, averaging 18.3 points per game, while Bryce Linup is at number 11, averaging 15.2 points per game. Huntington Junior Tyler Ahrens is number 10 in Crossroads League only scoring average, averaging 17.5 points per game, while senior Mike Bush is tied for number 16, averaging 14 points per game. Ahrens has scored in double figures in 15 of 16 games this season, including 3 games with 30 or more. He scored 35 points in the Foresters season opener against St. Xavier on November the 1st. USF's 15-game win streak is the 3rd longest in the 54-year history of the program. Number 2 is 16 consecutive wins, and that happened back during the 2015-16 season. The game that snapped that streak was the national championship loss to Indiana Wesleyan. Of course, St. Francis had beaten Wesleyan 3 previous times during that season. This will be the 108th meeting between St. Francis and Huntington. The Foresters lead the series 54-53. Huntington won the first 2 meetings in the 1964-65 season, USF's first season competing in intercollegiate athletics. Once again, so great to have St. Francis back at home. Folks, the Cougars have won 15 straight. As a matter of fact, for St. Francis, their last loss was here at home, and that was against crosstown rival Indiana Tech, 69-65. A day earlier, St. Francis hosted number 1 Cornerstone and lost 66-63. But since that weekend, St. Francis has not known defeat. Looking in the Crossroads League standings, your Cougars have sole possession of first place and are 2 games ahead of second place Spring Arbor, Bethel, and Indiana Wesleyan. So those 3 teams are in a 3-way tie for second place with 4-2 conference records. The Cougars at 16-2 overall hold the best overall record in the Crossroads League, tied with Spring Arbor University at 16-2. The Michigan Cougars have won 7 straight. Of course, St. Francis traveled to Spring Arbor back on November the 21st and handed the Michigan Cougars an 83-73 loss. St. Francis opened up Crossroads League play here before the winter break, beating Spring Arbor, Marion, Goshen, and Taylor at Taylor. The win against Marion came in double overtime. That's when Bryce Linup had the great shot to send it into the first overtime, into the second overtime, and then Derek Heinen hit the baseline jumper to win it for the Cougs. St. Francis winning it 98-97, and Derek Heinen making the top 10 plays of SportsCenter. We're going to send it down to our PA announcer, John Nolan, for the starting lineups and the national anthem to today's game.
University of St. Francis in Fort Wayne. Tonight we have a Crossroads League matchup between the visiting Huntington University Foresters and the second-ranked team in the nation, your St. Francis Cougars. At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we pray. Loving Lord, we thank you for all you have given us. The gift of this free from harm and injury. Help us to love and respect each other and ourselves. And in the words of St. Francis, enlighten the darkness of our minds and hearts. Give us a right faith, a firm hope, and a perfect charity, so that we may always and in all things act according to your holy will. Amen. Now please remain standing with your caps off for the playing of our national anthem.
And there we have it, folks, the starting lineups for today's Crossroads League matchup between Huntington and your University of St. Francis Cougars. Last year, number 10, Mike Bush, was a first-team All-Crossroads League selection, along with your number 23, Bryce Linnup. Both were third-team All-American selections last year when it was all said and done. In the center to tip is Tyler Ahrens. He's a junior forward at 6'8", 230 from Muncie Central High School. As possession will go to St. Francis and the Cougs. That's Derek Heinen running the point, who hands it off to Lotzenheiser. Heinen enters today's game averaging 16.8 points per game. Once again, he was featured on the SportsCenter Top 10 after his baseline jumper was the deciding factor in the win against Marion University. Good drive. Chandler White. White enters today averaging 12 points per game for Coach Lacrosse and the Cougs. On the far wing, there's number 3, Connor Platt. He's a sophomore guard at 6'2", 185 from Huntington North High School. Of course, St. Francis freshman sharpshooter Hunter Hollowell is also from Huntington North. Ahrens cannot hit with the fadeaway left-handed shot. Feed goes down low to Linup, and he will be fouled. So Bryce will head to the free throw line, looking for his first points of the game. So for Ahrens, his first and the team's first. Bryce on the season shooting 69% from the charity stripe as the first one falls down. Bryce has hit 65 of 93 on the season. Bryce is a 2-time All-American, and he was featured on the Crossroads League Athlete Spotlight. So Bryce hits them both. That extends the lead to 4 for St. Francis. Folks, number 10, Mike Bush. He ranks number 1 in the country, averaging 8.8 assists per game, and he has 158 total assists under his belt. 4-3. Bush drains it. Mike Bush averages 15 points per game while shooting just 27% from beyond the arc, knocking down 18 of 66 entering today's action. Heinen walled off, but the baseline jumper is good from just inside the arc. Bush gets it over to Platt. Platt's going to rise up from 18 feet, no good. Rebounded by Heinen. Down on the block is Linup. Kicks back out to Evan Henry. Long three-pointer. That'll right rim, no good. Nice hustle by Chandler White, but possession going to Huntington University. Speaking of Evan Henry, who shot that last three-point attempt, he ranks number 33 in the country with 45 three-pointers made. He's shooting 47% from beyond the arc, which ranks him number 22 in the country. Platt on the near wing goes down to Ahrens. Man-to-man defense here for St. Francis as Ahrens goes up against Linup. His second one is no good as well, so he's now 0 of 2 from the field going up against Big Bryce. Bryce trailing on the play, gets the rebound, but I believe they're going to call a foul on number 23, so a push. That'll be his first and the team's first. .63 your score. Mike Bush answering with that three-point attempt. His only shot of the game so far. St. Francis balance scoring with White, Heinen, and Linup. Bush working off the pick. Jump back wasn't there for him, so Ahrens drops the triple. Tyler Ahrens entering today shooting 37% from beyond the arc, hitting 23 of 62. He averages 19.6 points per game, which ranks him number 30 in the country. As we said in the pregame program put together by Sports Information Director Bill Scott, Ahrens has scored in double figures in 15 of 16 games. That's Devin Murder. Gets ball back top of the key. Number 20 is Mason Coverstone. Coverstone's a junior forward from Columbia City High School. As the ball is handed off to Ahrens. Kick out to Platt. He catches and fires, no good. Rebounded by Linup. Bryce already filling up the stat sheet. Bryce enters today with 152 rebounds on the season, which ranks him number 16 in the country. Lotzenheiser draws the contact, gets it to go off glass. He'll head to the free throw line looking for the and one. Lotzenheiser, the 5th leading scorer for the Cougars, averaging 8.5 points per game. He's shooting 63% from the free throw line, hitting 17 of 27 entering today. Stephen Turner going to check in for Bryce Linup as Lotzenheiser hits the free throw. Flat. Three-pointer by Murder on its way, no good. Rebounded by Ahrens. Fresh shot clock. Ahrens with a jump stop in the lane, no good. Rebounded by Lotzenheiser. Both him and Stephen Turner were going up for it. Turner calling for it in transition. Heinen, who started off his career at Huntington, was an all-Crossroads League performer for the Foresters. Fires up the triple. Derek Heinen now with 5 points in this game. Heinen entering today shooting 44% from beyond the arc. So outstanding work there for the senior Derek Heinen. Once again, played his first 3 seasons at Huntington. Sat out last year with the Cougars. And now playing in his senior year here at St. Francis. Platt, the bounce pass goes down to Ahrens. Ahrens working against Stephen Turner. Nice defense there by number 22, holding his ground. Now in transition, the lay-in is good for Stephen Turner. His first 2 points of the game. Turner entering today averaging 13.2 minutes played per game as Turner gets another rebound. He averages 2.7 rebounds per game and 3.9. As Lotzenheiser quickly gets another 2. He's got 4 in this game, and we got a 30-second timeout taken by Huntington. We'll take one with them. You're watching Cougar basketball here at the University of St. Francis. Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for champions. Welcome back, everyone, to the Hutzel Athletic Center. This Saturday, the Cougs will travel to Marian University for a doubleheader with Indiana Wesleyan. So Wesleyan on the boys and girls side, always one of the top premier basketball teams in NAIA. So we got doubleheader action this Saturday. And you can find a link to the live stream and live stats at stfranciscougars.com. Newly inserted into the game is Murder is going to be fouled. Mason Coverstone. He'll head to the free throw line. That's the first 2 points of the game for Coverstone. Also into the game is Trevor Lockwood, the senior center at 6'8", 230. He's out of McCutcheon High School. So we got our media timeout here taken at 14:27. So we'll go ahead and just stay right here with them. Both teams, the Cougar teams, will travel once again to Marion. The women's game will tip off at 1 p.m., the men's game at 3 p.m. And folks, don't forget you can watch Coach Jason Ridge and the women's team take on the Lady Foresters tomorrow. That game will be live right here from the University of St. Francis. Taking a look on the women's side of things. In the Crossroads League, Indiana Wesleyan's in first place with a 6-0 record. They're 14-4 overall. Marian University in second place with a 5-1 record, 16-2 overall. St. Francis is currently in fifth place behind Taylor and Mount Vernon Nass. So St. Francis coming off a loss at Mount Vernon Nass. Lady Cougars entered the fourth quarter with the lead. but then did stumble in the fourth quarter. So once again, you can watch Coach Ridge. The loss at Mount Vernon Naz, 62-58, snapped a 3-game win streak for the Lady Cougars. Once again, watch them live tomorrow, 7 p.m. tip-off. Once again, in the spotlight as the three-point play was converted by Coverstone. St. Francis currently shooting 75% from the field on 6 of 8 shooting. Entering today's game, St. Francis ranks number 9 in the country, shooting 50% from the field. Austin Compton into the game. As the three-pointer's up, left rim's no good. Rebounded by Mike Bush. Floater from the baseline, no good by Connor Platt. As Heinen, a nice feed to Steven Turner. Turner now with 4 points in this game. Cougars up 18-9 with 13:45 left to play in the first half. Bush. Mason Coverstone, the 6'6", 190-pound junior. Popping up, a 13-foot jumper is no good, rebounded by Compton. Once again in transition, but quick feet there for Steven Turner as St. Francis turns it over, their first turnover of the game. Hunter Hollowell is going to check in for St. Francis. So Chandler White, Derek Heinen, Steven Turner all check out as Linup, Hunter Hollowell, and Lotzenheiser on the floor with Austin Compton and Evan Henry. Murder gives it over to number 35 is Kyle Platt, the senior at 6'7". So Mike Bush hits the jumper. He now has 5 points in this game. That'll pull Huntington to within 7. Henry calling for motion as Hunter Hollowell drives the baseline. Lotzenheiser trying to lull the defense to sleep. Takes the feed and the three-pointer on its way. That was off the backboard, no good. Rebounded by Coverstone. Nice play down low, but Lockwood had a hard time finishing. Compton now running for St. Francis. Nice behind the back pass, but Linup not ready for it. Kyle Platt picked up the loose ball. Wraparound pass by Bush is picked up by Linup, and then his pass is intercepted by Murder. Devin Murder is averaging 26.8 minutes played per game, which is about 4th best for Huntington. Platt down low, backing down Henry, and he's fouled. Will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. So for Evan, that'll be his first and the team's second. So Kyle Platt entering today, shooting 57% from the charity stripe, hitting 4 of 7 as the first one's no good. He averages 2.1 points per game. Second free throw attempt for Platt. Huntington enters today shooting 69% from the free throw line as Platt hits 1 of 2. St. Francis also shooting 69%. Both teams at .689 from the free throw line. Linup. Bryce now working against, that was Lockwood. Lockwood got away with one there as he was inching closer, getting the leg there to work as a barrier against Linup. Three-pointer is good by Platt. Kyle Platt enters today shooting 27% from beyond the arc, hitting 9 of 34. Linup trying to save that ball as it's going to go out of bounds. Another turnover. That's turnover number 3 for St. Francis. Currently Huntington with 1. Chandler White and Derek Heinen will check in for Austin Compton and Hunter Hollowell. 11-11 left to play here in the first half. Huntington 2 of 3 from the free throw line, shooting 66%, and 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, shooting 60%. We got an offensive foul. So it's going to go against 44, Tyler Ahrens. That's his second. We'll see how much more he gets to play here in the first half. Over the timeline is Heinen. With the defense on Derek is Coverstone. Went up down low, kick back out to Henry. Bryce working against Lockwood. Fade away, and it looks like Lockwood got a piece of the arm on that blocked shot attempt. So for Lockwood, that'll be his first and the team's fourth. So Bryce lit up at the free throw line, where the first one is good. Bryce is a perfect 3 of 3 in this game from the charity stripe. Entering today a 70% free throw shooter. Bryce ranks number 45 in the country with 313 points scored on the season entering today. So once again, great work by the senior Bryce Slinup out of Columbus, Indiana. Bryce went to Columbus East High School. Platt on the far wing. Bush kicks out. Kyle Platt, no good. As in right rim's no good. Kyle Platt already got one three-pointer in this game. Lots of highs of these bigs for Huntington. Making it a little hard on Linup down on the block. Cougars with a 5-point advantage, up 20-15, inside 10 minutes to play at 9:45 left in the first half. Bush with the shot fake, gives it up to Trevor Lockwood. He'll look for the and one. Lockwood, that's his first bucket. Lockwood entering today averaging 13.8 minutes played per game while shooting 47% from the free throw line. He also averages 7.7 points per game. His 24 blocks ranks him number 23 in the country. Heinen from the top of the key, kicks out of the corner. Lotzenheiser's three is no good, but Turner gets the rebound. Heinen this time is going to be fouled by Coverstone, number 20. So that'll be his first and the team's fifth. It's Heinen with the inbounds pass. Turner with the pick set. Floater is good by Derek Heinen from 12 feet out. Derek now with 7 points. That leads all Cougars in scoring. Bush leads Huntington with 5 points. Nice steal as Turner's able to rip it away from Coverstone. And Coach Chad Lacrosse is going to call a timeout there as Heinen quickly got to the ball. Heads up there by Coach Chad Lacrosse. Looking at Huntington, currently in the midst of a 6-game losing streak. Their last win was on the road at Grace on December the 5th. On December the 2nd, they were at home and hosted Indiana Wesleyan and won 87-84. That was a big upset. But since then, they have struggled a bit. Losers of 6 straight. Lost to Spring Arbor and Taylor in back-to-back conference games after the Christmas break. They've lost to St. Xavier twice on the year, 94-76 back on December the 30th, and 96-89 back on November the 1st. 8:46 left here in the first half as Heinen's going to bring it over the timeline. Turner back to Heinen. Derek with a left-hand dribble drive. Gives it over to Turner with the right. He's looking to kick out, but it's stolen by Mike Bush. Turner's momentum was taking him out of bounds on the baseline. Bush step back, 16-foot jumper's no good, rebounded by White. Chandler currently in this game with 2 points. He's 1 of 1 from the field. Heinen between the legs, just lost the ball for a second. Platt for 3. Connor Platt no good, rebounded by Bush. Connor Platt, just a sophomore at 6'2", 185. Down low, Lockwood, it's good with the right hand. Trevor Lockwood playing some very important minutes here with his counterpart, Tyler Ahrens on the bench. Tyler Ahrens picking up 2 fouls quick in this game. Handoff goes to White. Nice job there. Devin Murder aggressive with the defense. White just cut back in, was all alone, uncontested for the easy deuce. He now has 4 points. A lot of good games in the Crossroads League today. As with the foul's going to go against Chandler White, number 10. That's his first. Team's 5th. So currently going on today in the Crossroads League, Goshen's at Mount Vernon Naz, Bethel at Spring Arbor, Indiana Wesleyan at Taylor, and Grace at Marion. So a timeout going to be called here by, that's our media timeout here at 7 minutes. Today's game is brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championships. Welcome back, everyone, to the University of St. Francis, where the Cougars lead at 24-20 over Huntington with 7 minutes left to play in the first. It's Coverstone with the inbounds pass. Aaron's back in the game, but has it swiped away right away by Stephen Turner. Turner's been fantastic with the quick hands on the defensive end. Chandler White just misses on the lay-in there. 3-pointer, it's going to right rim, no good. That was Murder with the attempt. Possession in favor of St. Francis. Derek Heinen brings it up for St. Francis. Derek currently 3 of 4 from the field in this game. White. Heinen up top. Nice job splitting 3 defenders there. Just lost the ball for a second. Could not regroup in time to get it to fall. Murder quick drive off the catch. No good, rebounded by Heinen. Huntington getting their opportunities close to the rim, just having a hard time getting them to fall. Huntington currently shooting under 35% from the field on 7 of 21 shooting. Heinen is 1-on-4 down on the block for Heinen. White's three-point attempt no good, rebounded by Bush. Michael Bush, once again, a third-team All-American with Bryce Linnup last year. Bush one-on-one with Heinen. That one will fall, so nice touch around the rim for Michael Bush. He now has 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting from the field. Lotzenheiser to White. Chandler going to be called with the travel. So Austin Compton's going to check in for Lotzenheiser. Scores from around the Crossroads League. Bethel and Spring Arbor are tied at 26. Indiana Wesleyan's beating Taylor 29-27, and Goshen's beating Mount Vernon Nass 36-33. So the foul is going to go against Stephen Turner, his first, the team's 6th. Bush, another strong take. Chandler White trailing on the play, but Bush gets his 9th point of the game as we are tied at 24. Near wings, Evan Henry, and just lost his pivot foot on that hard fake. So it's Connor Platt over the timeline, 4:20 left to play here in the first half. We're tied at 24. St. Francis pretty much holding the lead all first half until that last bucket. Murder back over to Bush. Bush, a long three-pointer. That one off the heel, no good. Ahrens gets the rebound, goes up strong. He was looking for a foul. Cougars going the other direction. Heinen with the right-hand take. Turner now from the elbow, and they're going to call a charge on number 22. He's saying that Aaron's feet were not set. So Hunter Hollowell is going to check back in for St. Francis, along with number 13, Devin Tennant. Tennant, the transfer from Elmhurst Community College. Played his high school ball at Fort Wayne Snyder. Bush. Murder on the far wing. It's like a man-to-man defense here for the Cougars, as we got 11 seconds on the shot clock. Good D there by Devin Tennant. The inbound will be Devin Murder, the senior forward. They got Ahrens out of the game. Did Coach Ty Platt, who's in his 10th season at Huntington. Bush cannot hit on the jumper. The second jumper that is missed right around the top of the key. Heinen working against Coverstone. Mason Coverstone's gone the whole way for Coach Platt, and they're going to call a foul on number 20, Coverstone. On him with the forearm, so that's his second, team 6th. One more will put St. Francis in the bonus. As the first one is up and in for Heinen. Derek now with 8 points. He also has 1 assist and 2 rebounds. Mason Coverstone going to take a breather here for Huntington as the second one's no good, tracked down by Devin Murder. Back into the game is Kyle Platt, number 35. Kyle re-enters with 4 points. Nice spin move, step back for Bush. No good. And the putback is for Trevor Lockwood. Lockwood now with 7 points in this game as Huntington takes the lead 26-25. Long three-pointer, that one just short for Evan Henry. Rebounded by Murder. Mike Bush, the senior, comes from South Bend Adams High School. South Bend Riley's the #1 team in Indiana high school basketball in Class 4A currently. Bush 1-on-3 in the trees. Murder from the elbow, no good. Once again, the shooting woes from the field continue for Huntington, right around 33% shooting from the field. Tennant wanted to drive baseline, and they're going to call a travel on Devin Tennant. For St. Francis, the 10th turnover of the game. Huntington currently with just 4. Huntington ranks number 5 in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio at 1.4. The Cougars rank number 8 at 1.5. As Connor Platt with the catch and shoot gets it to fall. That's his first bucket of the game that extends the lead to 3 points for Huntington, 28-25. Once again, if the Cougars win today, that'll match the second longest winning streak in school's history, which happened during the 2015-16 season. The Cougars won 15 in a row before losing in the national championship game. Fouls called on number 32, Trevor Lockwood. That'll be his second, the team's 7th. Both teams in the bonus. Chandler White set to check back in for your Cougars. Connor Lotzenheiser and Chandler White check back in as Heinen and Devin Tennant take a breather. 1:18 left to play. Lockwood out, so there are 0 bigs on the floor outside of Kyle Platt, who's listed at 6'7", 205. The second one is good. So Hunter Hollowell now with 1 point. Connor Platt being guarded by Evan Henry. Switch defense there as White's now on Platt. So Austin Compton, you saw, just took a hard seat there, and the foul is going to go against Chandler White. That'll be his second, team's 8th. So for the front end of the 1-and-1, it will be Connor Platt. Derek Heinen going to check in for White. Connor Platt with the bonus. Connor is the team's 3rd leading scorer, averaging 12.1 points per game. He shoots 78% from the free throw line, knocking down 29 of 37 entering today's game. It's Connor Platt. Second one's good as well. He now has 4 points. That'll extend Huntington's lead to 4. 30-26 with 50 seconds to play here in the first half. Hollowell with the left hand lay in. Hollowell pulls St. Francis to within 2. He averages 6.3 points per game, does Hunter Hollowell. while shooting 49% from the field and 43% from beyond the arc. Glad looked like his foot did stay down, his pivot foot. As Bush, with the turnover, picked up by Lotzenheiser, 20 seconds left to play. Let's see if the Cougars can tie it up or take the lead here as the shot clock is off. Heinen's going to have his team settle down for the last shot. Derek right-hand take, high off glass, defended by Kyle Platt. So Heinen's last bucket there, that gives him 10 points for the half as the Cougars and Huntington go into the break tied at 30. Folks, we'll take a break up here in the booth and we'll be back with you right before the start of the second half to go over a few of the stats.
Centers with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone, or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, one website, SummitCitySports.com. Live stream high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne area athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit SummitCitySports.com.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championship.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry.
Birthing Centers with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone, or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, one website, summitcitysports.com. Live stream high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne area athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and summitcitysports.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit summitcitysports.com.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championship.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone, or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, one website, summitcitysports.com. Live stream high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne area athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and summitcitysports.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit summitcitysports.com.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championships. Welcome back, everyone, to the University of St. Francis, where we are tied at 30 and just 3 minutes away from the start of the second half. Huntington's already out on the floor as the Cougars are looking to make their way out. Leading scorers for each team for St. Francis, it's Derek Heinen. Derek with 10 points scored there in the first half. Derek was 4 of 6 from the field, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line for his 10 points. Leading Huntington in scoring was Mike Bush. Bush was 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc with 2 rebounds, 1 assist for 9 points. We'll go over the Huntington stats for you real quick. Forrester shot 37% from the field on 11 of 30 shooting. 38% from beyond the arc, 3 of 8, and 83% from the free throw line, 5 of 6. Huntington had 12 rebounds with 3 offensive rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals, 5 turnovers, 1 block, 17 fouls. They had 11 points off the bench, 12 points in the paint, 4 points off second chance, and 10 points off turnovers. St. Francis shot 55% from the field on 11 of 20 shooting. The Cougars shot 14% from beyond the arc on 1 of 7 shooting, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, 78% with 17 rebounds, 1 of those being an offensive board. St. Francis with 2 assists, 4 steals, 10 turnovers, 1 block, and 18 fouls. Once again, Derek Heinen leading the Cougars in points scored. Stephen Turner with 4 rebounds is your team leader, and Bryce Linup with 1 assist. Well, that ties him with the team high. Bryce and Heinen each with 1 assist in this game. Connor Platt leads all players with 2 assists. For St. Francis, Chandler White has 4 points. Connor Lotzenheiser has 5. Stephen Turner with 4. Bryce Linup with 4, and Hunter Hollowell with 3 points. Around the Crossroads League, Bethel holds the 38-35 advantage over Spring Arbor. Indiana Wesleyan's up 39-34, and Goshen leads Mount Vernon Naz 46-43. Wesleyan is currently beating Taylor at Taylor. As we start second half play, three-pointer by Trevor Ahrens is up and in. Ahrens is now 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. He's got 6 points. Ahrens with 2 fouls did not play a whole lot in that first half. For Trevor Ahrens, he actually played 9 minutes. So Linup gets his scoring started for St. Francis. For Bryce, that's his 6th point of the game. Murder. Bush here on the near wing. That's Coverstone with the pick as switch defense has Heinen down on Coverstone now. White back on Coverstone. Bush rises up for 3. That thing trailing off to the right. Rebounded by Lotzenheiser. Connor and turnover by St. Francis. Now Bush maintains possession. Connor Platt, a long three-pointer. Rattles out. Chandler gets it over to Bryce. Bryce kicks out Evan Henry for 3. No good. Rebounded by Platt. 1.5 minutes in. Huntington with the 1-point advantage, 33-32. So the blocking foul is going to be called on Bryce Linup. That'll be his 3rd, team's 1st. Each team with 5 timeouts left. Bush gets it over to Murder. Ahrens has to have a big second half if Huntington wants to win this game. Once again, 3 points for Ahrens in the first half with 9 minutes played as Bush coughs it up. Michael Bush, one of the best in turnover to assist ratio in the country. Bush ranks #1 in the country with 158 assists entering today. Heinen working against Coverstone. Nice turnaround fadeaway jumper for Derek Heinen. 17:30 left to play. The Cougars take the lead back 34-33. Great defense help D there by Chandler White, forces that turnover. Steal by Lotzenheiser, gets it off glass. Connor now with 7 points. Cougars extend their lead to 3, 36-33. Bush over the timeline. So possession stays with Huntington. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Bush, step back jumper. That one rims in for Mike Bush. Mike Bush is now 5 of 10 from the field with 11 points. Lotzenheiser. Heinen walled off by Ahrens as well as Coverstone. Handoff goes to White. As Murder is going to be called with the block. Murder doing a good job of fighting through that pick, but had his feet moving on the block. That's his 2nd.
And the team's 1st of the half.
The inbounds pass is Derek Heinen, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Bryce working against Ahrens. Bryce once again, piece of cake. for Bryce Linnip, his 8th point of the game. Extends the lead to 3 points, 38-35. Connor Platt. Connor in the first half with 4 points for Huntington. Rebounded by White. Chandler pushing it for St. Francis. Kick out attempt intended for Lotzenheiser. Bush got a hand on it. And Connor Platt with the bounce pass turns it over. Looks like we got a media timeout here at 15:40. You're watching USF basketball, sponsored by Fort Financial Credit Union.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championships. So St. Francis coming out of halftime outscoring Huntington 8-5 in the first 4 minutes and 20 seconds of the second half. Cougars shooting 60% from the field on 15 of 25 shooting with 20 rebounds. Huntington shooting 37% on 13 of 35 shooting from the field with 3 rebounds. As Heinen will bring it up for St. Francis. Huntington definitely winning the turnover battle. St. Francis has 12 turnovers. Foresters with 7, although they have turned the ball over early and often here in the second. That's Lockwood now with the defense. As Bryce Linnip skates right past him. For Bryce, that's his 10th point of the game. Cougars up by 5 now, 40-35. Once again, Lady Cougars will be tipping off at 7 p.m. tomorrow against Huntington. As Lockwood hits the right-handed hook shot. Both the men's and women's team will travel to Indiana Wesleyan on Saturday. Linnip looking for his 3rd consecutive bucket, kicks out. Henry wide open, no good by Evan Henry. Hasn't been Evan's day from beyond the arc as he's now 0 of 5. As a 3-pointer is good for Mike Bush. Bush now has 14 points. He ties this game up at 40. Floater by Lotzenheiser in the lane. Connor now with 9 points. Bryce Linnip, last time out against Mount Vernon Mass, had 18 points. Currently with 10 points today. Feed going down to Chandler White, but foul's going to be called on Mike Bush. On the floor. For Bush, that's his first, team second. This season, Linnip's high is 33 points, and that was against Southeastern Florida. Heinen with the right hand, dribble drive, kicks out. Henry this time halfway down, pops out. Lotzenheiser with the board. He's fouled, will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Connor Lotzenheiser, perfect 1 of 1 from the charity stripe in this game.
That's his 3rd and team's 3rd. Connor Lotzenheiser at the line, shooting 2.
St. Francis entering today, averaging 81.7 points per game while giving up only 72.1. That ranks them number 20 in the country, limiting teams to 72 points per game. Connor Lotzenheiser entering today, shooting 63% from the free throw line on 17 of 27 shooting. He now has 11 points to match his number. Bush now has 16, his team down by 2. Lotzenheiser on the far wing. Falling down, gets it out to Henry. One-touch pass goes to White. White rises up from 16 feet, no good. Murder with the board. Bush finds, that's Kyle Platt. Bush for 3. That one's no good. So Mike Bush is now 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. Heinen being guarded by Bush. Derek fadeaway, knocks it down. Derek Heinen now 6 of 8 from the field with 14 points. His 14 is 2 points behind Mike Bush for a game high. Lockwood dipping his shoulder, no foul called. Heinen looking to go coast to coast. And Derek gets it to go off glass. He'll head to the free throw line looking for the and 1. Cougars extend their lead to 6. So beautiful play there by Derek Heinen. The foul was called by Trevor Lockwood. So a 30-second timeout called by Huntington. Let's take a look at that replay. You see Lockwood down there battling with Stephen Turner. No fouls called. So Heinen goes coast to coast with it. He felt all the pressure there, and Lockwood trailing on the play just blasted. Derek Heinen now with the team high, 16 points. That ties him with a game high. So Heinen completes the three-point play. He has a game high 17. Cougs up by 7. Bush turns it over. His pass intended for Trevor Ahrens. A little bit too much mustard on that pass. Bush trying to keep Heinen in front of him. White for 3. Front rim's no good. Rebounded by Bush. Connor Platt. Connor with 4 points. Aaron's baseline jumper is good. Sweet looking jumper there by the big man, Tyler Ahrens. Still only with 2 fouls. He should be able to play this whole second half. He's got 8 points. Turner down low. Shot is off the mark. That was rebounded by Murder. Coach Ty Platt calling out the play as Huntington slows it down. It's Bush up top. And foul going to be called on Stephen Turner off ball. He was battling with Ahrens on the block. For Stephen, that'll be his 3rd, team 2nd. Turner's going to check out as Linnup checks back in with Austin Compton. .111. Let's play in this game. 5-point ad for St. Francis. Connor Platt driving from the far corner. Nice floater in the air for Connor Platt. He now has 6 points. Huntington down by 3. Compton finds White, top the key. Nice find. Lineup double team. Cannot get the first attempt to go, but gets his own board. Compton for 3. That one off the heel. Rebounded by White, who goes strong to the cup. Great job of attacking there by Chandler White. He's now 3 of 6 from the field with 6 points. Bush for 3, sinks it. Huntington remaining in this game, only down by 2. Lineup and travel. That time going to be called on Compton. For the Cougs, that'll be the 13th turnover in this game for St. Francis. Huntington sitting at 7. Wesleyan with a 1-point advantage over Taylor, up 50-49. Another turnover there by the Foresters. Heinen rises up, 3-pointer is good for Derek Heinen. Huge 3-pointer there for Derek Heinen. Extending that lead back to 5 points for the Cougars. Trevor Aaron's having a hard time getting going. As the runner is good for Murder. Devin Murder, that's his first bucket made from the field, his first 2 points of the game. He does have 6 rebounds. Compton, 3-pointer, knocks it down. Austin Compton, his first 3 points of the game. Back-to-back 3-pointers, Heinen and Compton extend this lead to 6. Aarons knocks down the triple. Aarons is now 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. As Huntington's going to call a timeout. And that will be a full timeout. You're watching Cougar Basketball. Brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine.
Full timeout.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championships. Waiting for the new Crossroads League rankings to come out. St. Francis currently the number 2 ranked team in the country. Indiana Wesleyan is at number 4, but that was a poll from December the 12th. So the new poll is supposed to come out today. Last I checked, it was not up. We'll check one more time for you. We're back to the action here. The January 9th poll is out, and St. Francis will remain at number 2 as Indiana Wesleyan drops all the way from 4 to 7. But you do have 3 Indiana teams in the top 5. Bryce now with 12 points in this game. Cougars rolling up by 5, 59-54. Top of the key, Connor Platt. Elbow jumper is good for the right-handed sharpshooter. Bryce, who's had the high hand. Once again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Bryce is just doing whatever he wants to do down on the block, working against Trevor Ahrens. Ahrens, who had 2 fouls at the break, still only has 2 fouls. But Bryce knows that, and they've been working against Ahrens early and often as Trevor misses on that shot. Bryce had 4 points in the first half, currently with 14. Foul's going to go against Tyler Ahrens. That'll be his 3rd and the team's 5th. Bryce in this game is a perfect 4 of 4 with 5 rebounds and 1 assist. His first miss in the game. Lockwood's going to check in for Ahrens. Coach Ty Platt in his 10th season as head coach of Huntington. His assistant coaches are Mark Green, Drew Benedict, Joshua Cronin, Tyler Palmer, and Kent Yost. So Bryce is going to check out. Turner checks in. 6-point ad for St. Francis. Long 3-pointer by Coverstone off the mark. 7:15 left here in the second half. Heinen lost the handle but got it right back. Derek rises up. Turner with the rebound. Stephen Turner, his 5th rebound of the game. As Coach Across is going to call a full timeout. You're watching University of St. Francis Cougar basketball, brought to you by Fort Financial Credit Union.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championships. Some updated scores for you from around the Crossroads League. We have Bethel on top of Spring Arbor 53-50. That's at Spring Arbor. Indiana Wesleyan's at Taylor up 57-50. And Mount Vernon Naz is hosting Goshen. Mount Vernon Naz up 74-70. So all of those games have about 7 minutes left to play in the second half. That's exactly what we've got going here. Inside 7 minutes left to play as Heinen. Lob goes down into Linnup. Bryce, once again, no issues here. Working against Trevor Lockwood. Matter of fact, Lockwood is going to be called with the foul. Lockwood was wanting the hook. Called on Linnup. Either way, Bryce, his 17th point of the game. Ahrens checks in as Lockwood checks out. Bryce from the free throw line where he's 5 of 6 in this game. 5 of 7 now. Bryce with 17 points. Murder, lob pass goes into Ahrens. Tyler Ahrens, left-hand hook shot is good. Ahrens, that's his 13th point of the game. Huntington down by 6. Evan Henry, long two-pointer. For Henry, his first 2 points of the game. He's now 1 of 7 shooting from the field. Stephen Turner going to check in for Linnup. Trapped by Evan Henry as Bush runs away from it. Heinen's able to knock that ball out of bounds. Bush with the right hand dribble drive, step back jumper. That one's good from 16 feet. Long 2 for Bush. He now has 21 points. He regains the game high. Heinen sitting at 20 points. Derek Heinen, kick out. White out of the corner, off the heel, no good. Mike Bush, spin move. Ahrens, another 3-point attempt. That one off the heel. That's Tyler Ahrens' first miss from beyond the arc. He is now 3 of 4 shooting from three-point land. So, 30-second timeout called by Coach Chad Lacrosse. The only score we don't have an update on so far is the Marion score. Marion hosting Grace. We'll look that one up for you right away. Taylor did drop out of the top 25 in the latest coach's top 25 poll. Bethel moved up from 14 to 11. Spring Arbor moved up from 16 to 13. So at Marion University, Linnup, Lotzenheiser right in front of Connor Platt. Lotzenheiser for 3. So Marion's currently beating Grace 66 to 55. Ahrens could not get that one off. Oh, he does. Foul's called on Linnup. For Bryce, that'll be his 4th. So Wesley Stowers leads Marion with 27 points, Sterling Brown with 14, Andrew Jordan with 12. For Grace, they're led by Logan Godfrey with 14, Matt Jennings with 11, Eric Bowen with 10. There's 5 minutes left to play, Marion up by 11 in that one. Cougars up by 7 in this one, as Tyler Ahrens now has 15 points. Heinen, right hand shot, left short. Nice rebound, Linnup with the putback. Bryce with 19 points, that's one more than he had last time out against Mount Vernon Nats. Out of the corner, Coverstone's 3-pointer is good. So Huntington calls the timeout by Coach Ty Platt. It's a 30-second, no, full timeout. We'll take one with them. You're watching Cougar Basketball, sponsored by Parkview Sports Medicine.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Welcome to the University of St. Francis, located in the heart of Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the Cougar basketball programs have won 2 national championships and finished runner-up twice since 2010. And the Cougar football program is fresh off a 2016 national championship. USF is a 3-time gold-level Champions of Character institution, one of only 12 NAIA schools to earn that distinction. The University of St. Francis provides you the opportunity to get a great education while competing for championships. Back at the Hutzel Athletic Center, Derek Heinen has been on fire once again. He leads the Cougars with 20 points. Huge three-pointer right there gave St. Francis the cushion, 54-49. Cougars have been building on that ever since. St. Francis now up 71-65. Chandler, skip pass, finds Lotzenheiser. Heinen's being guarded by Coverstone. Heinen drives right past him. No worries there for Derek Heinen. His 22nd point of the game. St. Francis now up by 8, their largest lead of the game. Bush. Foul's called against Chandler White. That'll be his 3rd.
Number 10, Chandler White, and his 3rd and team's 4th.
It's the team's 4th.
St. Francis foul on number 34, Derek Heinen. That's his 1st and team's
So for Heinen, that's just his 1st foul. Team's 5th now. Bush has his pass stolen by Evan Henry, now in transition. Henry with his 4th point of the game. Cougars now up by 10, 75-65. Cougars smelling a victory here. That'd be number 16 straight. That would tie their streak from the 2015-16 season. Hook shot's no good. Cougars looking to slow it up a tad. Lob pass into Linnup, and alley-oop. White to Price. Linnup. Cougars are rolling. Bush. Jumper, knocks it down. So Huntington's going to call another timeout. So full timeout for the Foresters. They're down to just 1 timeout left. Cougars with 3. Cougar cheerleaders are on the floor last year, finishing national runner-up at the competitive cheer and dance competition. St. Francis the year before was their first ever competition, taking 5th place. Last year in their 2nd year, taking 2nd place. So outstanding job by Coach Jeremy Elder and the Cougar cheerleaders. So once again, both Cougar teams traveling to Indiana Wesleyan. St. Francis will be back home a week from today to host number 21 Spring Arbor. And then we'll host number 16 Bethel the following Saturday. So a big week of Cougar Hoops action. Next week, once again, the men hosting Spring Arbor on Tuesday and then hosting Bethel. Both of those teams are nationally ranked. St. Francis, once again, in this game are led by Derek Heinen's 22 points and Bryce Linnup's 21 points, your 2 leaders in this game for Coach DeCross and the Cougs. Folks, I do apologize. I'm not going to be able to get post-game interviews for you as a piece from my receiver broke off on the way here. So we'll hopefully get that fixed for you so that next week we will have interviews. 2:23 left to play. 19 on the shot clock. Heinen being guarded by Coverstone. Huntington coming out of the timeout called by Coach Ty Platt. Lob intended for a Linnup was blocked by Murder. Now foul going to be called on Bush. That'll be his second, team 7th. St. Francis now in the bonus. And to take the bonus free throw will be Evan Henry. Evan now is 2 of 8 from the field with 1 rebound, 4 points in this game. This will be his first free throw attempt. Entering today's game as Evan knocks down the front end of the 1-and-1. Entering today's game, Evan's an 85% free throw shooter, hitting 11 of 13. Second one's good as well. Bush gets it over the timeline. We're approaching 2 minutes left to play. St. Francis with a 12-point advantage, its largest lead. As that three-pointer's off the mark, rebounded by Turner. Outlet goes to Lotzenheiser to White. As Chandler's going to be fouled. Good foul there by Huntington as we don't want to give up anything too easy. Chandler, his first trip to the free throw line in this game. Chandler does have 2 assists and 7 rebounds to go with his 3 of 7 shooting from the field. Connor Lotzenheiser is your 3rd leading scorer for the Cougs with 14 points in this game. Bush is the leading scorer for Huntington with 23 points. Right behind him is Tyler Ahrens. Ahrens is 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. The 6'8" post player. Bush, 16 feet, no good. Easy rebound there by White. 1:30 left to play, 81-67. .12 seconds left on the shot clock. St. Francis just happy to let as much time whittle off the clock as possible. That ball was halfway down and spun out. Murder over to Coverstone as Huntington's going to want to get some quick points. Foul's going to be called on Steven Turner. Aaron's slow to get up. It's like he might have got poked in the eye. Turner will be called with the foul. So that'll be his 4th. Both Cougar bigs with 4 fouls. Bounce pass goes into Ahrens. Goes up with the left hand. It's good. Tyler Ahrens is about automatic there on the block. Inside 1 minute to play. So the Cougs will pick up their 16th consecutive win, which ties them for their 2nd longest win streak, which happened just 2 years ago during that magical season where St. Francis ended up losing in the national championship game. Heinen working off the pick set as the fadeaway jumper is no good. Ahrens with the board. Heinen doing a good job of getting that shot off right as the shot clock expired. Blocking foul going to be called on White. That'll be his 4th.
St. Francis foul by number 10, Chandler White, that's his 4th and team's 7th.
Got a wholesale change here as standing ovation by the Cougar faithful here to my right. Clapping it up here for the Cougs leaving the floor. So Coverstone hits the front end of the 1-1. 22.6 seconds remains. St. Francis does not need to get another shot off. Billy Doslack. So that will do it. Cougars shoot 60% from the field and will win it 81-71. St. Francis will improve its overall record to 17-2 overall, 7-0 in conference play, as Huntington falls to 6-13 overall, 2-5 in Crossroads League play. Once again, folks, I apologize. We will not have post-game reactions for you, but we will get that fixed, and hopefully we'll have those for you a week from today when the Cougs return back home to host Spring Arbor. Folks, thanks again for joining us. My name is Jeff Mahoney, bringing you the play-by-play. We had Mitchell Van Brocklin on the camera. Have a wonderful night.